Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with another One Piece episode review. This is episode 824. And I know what some of you guys are going to say. People that have been part of this channel for a while, people that have been subscribed to me for a while, are probably going to say something along the lines of, but I thought you said the anime was so bad that you're going to drop it. And yes, I did drop the anime for a lot of episodes ever since Cracker, ever since Luffy versus Cracker. I dropped the anime, and this is where I have to eat my words. This is where I have to say, good job, Toei. You have really picked up your game, um, and this is why I'm back. This is why I am going to do One Piece episodes when I think they're worth it. Because it's not going to be a weekly thing. It's probably going to be when an episode is good, when I think an episode is worth talking about. This is when I'm going to make a review, like today. Now, the main reason I'm doing this right now is because I thought the animation just got a boost. I don't know what they did. I'm going to try and figure out what happened between Luffy versus Cracker and now. Like, why is the animation a lot better? Why is the pacing seem a lot better? Why the writing is a lot better? The voice acting, well, it's been constant, but because the pacing is better, it doesn't seem drawn out. It doesn't seem over exaggerated. So it's nice because pacing has that effect. If you keep hearing something over and over and over again because the pacing is so terrible and because you're stuck in that one part for so long, then the voice acting seems to be bad. But because this episode just went like this, and there was an actual story in line, and the way they managed fillers, this episode was perfect. It was wonderful, and this is why I'm doing the review. Now, there are 5 parts to this episode. The first 2 parts I'm going to talk about simultaneously because they interlock, and the scenes in those 2 parts alternate all the time, and it gives it just this wonderful effect. And those 2 parts are the Sanji running towards Luffy and Luffy versus Counter. Now, I was jealous. I was jealous when I saw Luffy versus Counter. And the reason I'm saying this is because I wanted this sort of animation quality to be in Luffy versus Cracker. And when I saw it with Luffy versus Counter, I was like, oh, come on. Because, guys, I'm not sure if you know this, anime onlys. When Cracker appeared in the manga, he seemed a lot more intimidating than he did in the anime. When he came out in the manga, you were like, whoa, okay, this is a force to be reckoned with. But in the anime, it's just not the same effect. And it's because the pacing is bad, because the introduction is just, they messed that up. The setting is bad, the animation quality was terrible, and now they've upped their game. And it kind of seems, when you look at it, that Counter is more of a foe because the animation quality is better. It's kind of frustrating, but obviously he's not when you take into consideration the fact that Luffy wasn't able to beat Cracker one-on-one, and that was when he was fully capable and fully energized. So obviously that's not the case, but some people might say that because the animation quality is better, that, Counter's a bigger deal, while in actuality, Counter was filler. But this is how filler should be utilized. When you utilize filler to add characterization to a character that otherwise wouldn't have gotten it, that is the correct way of using filler. When you use filler to flush out dynamics of families, especially the Charlotte family and Oprah's brothers, that's the correct way to use fillers. When you use fillers to give us an amazing battle that is just so well animated, that is the correct way of using fillers. This filler was used very well, flushed out a lot of things when it comes to characterization for Counter, a lot of things when it comes to the family dynamics, and a lot of things when it comes, it's just the battle was so entertaining as well. Now, let's go to the second part of this, which is Sanji running towards Luffy. Now, when Sanji is running towards Luffy, you almost get the feel that Sanji's gonna jump right in the middle of this battle and kick Counter in his face. And that obviously does not happen for you guys who've watched the episode, but it really builds this tension up, and it's very dramatic, and the music this episode was just amazing, and it really did build this feeling of tension, this amazing, you know the classical One Piece music, that was utilized very well in the Counter versus Luffy fight, and when Sanji's pursuing him, it just made you feel better because it just gave you the feels, gave you the feels, and it was utilized perfectly. Now, part three is the Brook in the mirror world, and honestly, this particular scene I don't think was dragged on at all, which is unusual for the anime because the anime usually drags everything out because the distance between the anime and the manga isn't as far as most people think. But I think it was utilized well, and that is why I think that is why it was just that short, because it was that short because you had the battle with Counter that took up more time. So that scene was not stretched, and that made the scene better. It made This is exactly the way the scene was in the manga, and it's very good to see that. Now, after that is Bobbins. I know this is not in chronological order. I know it's not, but you see someone just aiming at Bobbins and shooting him with a pistol. And I think it's pretty obvious who that person is, but I'm not gonna say anything in case any of you guys don't know. Just think of people that have used pistols before or have pistols in One Piece, and I'm sure you're gonna get the answer. Now, the Vince Smoke scene. That scene was just very well done. If you realize the art itself was so amazing to the point where when you utilized still shots, when the animation is still and you have a moving panel on the still animation, it still looks good because the art was amazing. It was just perfect. The mise en scène in that scene with with Vince with Sanji's sisters, it was Reiju. Why did I forget Reiju's name? I'm shucks. My head hurts, I guess, or something. Just feel dizzy. It's been a long day. Uh, so that the mise en scène in that scene was just perfect because you had the broken glass, you had the dark background, you had her lying down looking in the distance. That mise en scène is basically the scene and how it looks. If you pause like a scene and you see the background and what's in the front and everything around the setting, basically that's the mise en scène. When you pause a movie and you look at the still shot and you look at the setting and what it symbolizes, that's the mise en scène. And I thought the mise en scène in that particular scene with Reiju was pretty good, where you had the broken glass possibly symbolizing, a broken heart, sadness, whatnot, in the dark background also symbolizing sadness and whatnot. And that was perfect. That scene where you see Judge and Ichiji and Niji and Yonji just drinking and talking about how useless Sanji is, that was a perfect scene. Really did give you a feeling of what's going on in the Vince Smoke family and the dynamic of the family and how messed up that family is. It was just done perfectly. The voice acting for Judge was great. The voice acting for Yonji was great, and the voice acting for Counter was also very good. And props also to Brook. So that's all I have to say about this chapter. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't, just dislike the video. And if you have any recommendations for me, please just put them down in the comments below. And if you disagree with me, please tell me what you disagree with me with down below. And until next time, guys, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out. See you guys later. Bye.